Hey, Jandre here, and welcome to another YouTube video. If you've watched any of my previous content, I want to say thank you. I really do appreciate it, and I'm going to continue getting better at this so that I can add even more value and be a bit more straight to the point as well. If you've perhaps enjoyed any of the content that I've shared so far, and if you want to continue receiving more content like this, then I want to encourage you to like and subscribe to the channel so you can be notified about future updates. Thanks again for watching. So in today's video, I'm going to be unpacking the following. The one thing that's holding most business owners back when it comes to seeing results on Meta ads. Number two, how misunderstanding this one thing is leading to higher CPCs and CPAs at the end of the day. And then thirdly and lastly, how fixing this one thing can help you get better results from Meta ads. Right, let's just dive straight in, shall we? So like I said, in this video, I'm going to be sharing the one thing that's holding businesses back from seeing results, and I mean amazing results with Meta ads. Now with this video, I know I am going to be stepping on some toes, and I might even get people calling me out saying that I have no idea what I'm talking about. So just as a disclaimer, I just want to say that my team and I have worked with close to over 300 brands now since 2018. And, you know, we've seen it all. We have seen some really amazing businesses. We've seen some mediocre businesses. We've seen some amazing founders, some not so amazing founders. And at the end of the day, what I'm going to be sharing is my own data-driven perspective based on what all the business owners who struggled to see results on Meta ads all have in common. Right, so without any further ado, here is that one thing. Drum roll. And that is that they are all overly romantic about their brand's look and feel, which we also call their CI, which stands for corporate identity. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're asking, Jandre, what the hell does your corporate identity got to do with seeing results on Meta ads? Well, I am very happy you asked, because that's what I'm about to explain. So one thing we need to understand is that platforms like Meta, which includes Facebook and Instagram, but also TikTok and Snapchat and most other social networks, are very visual driven platforms. So people on these platforms share a ton of images, memes, and videos, etc. And you jump on these platforms just like 3.9 other billion people every single month to consume these types of content. So let's just be honest, like most of the content that we consume are not really amazingly designed or put together. In fact, they're all just snippets that's kind of like stuck together for the sake of some form of entertainment. But it works because it's safe to say that we all go there for some form of entertainment. And that's the kicker. We go there to be entertained. We go there to escape, not to look at ads. We're not joining these platforms to be sold to. We're not going there looking for ads. In fact, the last thing that you want to see on these platforms is another ad. Now, understanding this, and if you're a business owner that wants to use Meta as a sales tool, then wouldn't it be ROI positive to look at creating ads that don't look like ads, considering that people on the platforms don't want ads? In fact, it'll be in your favor to ask yourself, how can I create ads that looks native to the platform? And what I mean by that is that create content that can actually look like it's been shared from other people, as opposed to a brand trying to put a sales message across in front of someone. And on the flip side of that, if you are going to design ads that look like ads, you're going to be left with higher CPCs, higher CPAs, and fewer sales. And tying it back to business owners who are overly romantic about their brand's look and feel and CI, it's usually those business owners who want to create ads that are very professional and that are on brand. But the reality is, on the flip side of that, you are just making getting sales much harder for yourself, and seeing a return will most likely be unlikely. We've seen that brands who create ads that look native to the platform are crushing it. That is obviously if they have an amazing product and have found product market fit. But also we've seen brands with amazing products who just struggle to see results because they're just too uptight about how the ad should look. They scrutinize literally everything, from the size of the font to the color that might be 1 degree off, even the size of the logo. And here is a little secret. Nobody wants to see your logo, because if they do, it means they're seeing an ad. So it's actually smart to not add your logo to your ad. Some business owners are just so scared of not looking professional, but in reality, it's only their own romantic bias about how the ad should look that is holding them back. And most of the time, if you have a conversation around it, it is extremely subjective. These owners usually claim that they have an image to uphold, which I'm sorry to say is just utter BS. Why? Because any savvy business owner starting out knows that nothing is more important than sales, because there's 90% of businesses who close their doors because they're not making enough money, which ties back to sales. So there is really nothing more important than trying to generate sales for your business at the cheapest cost so that you can make a profit. Yes, there are certain brands like Apple and Nike who have a certain image, and At the end of the day, people buy into their products because of the brand that they've created. But we need to understand that they have billions of dollars in ad spend. They've been doing this for decades. And when they started out, it wasn't the brand that they are today. So the first thing that you should focus on as a business is try to get sales at the cheapest cost so you can make profit, so you can then start to focus on brand, which is more of a luxury play. So these brands like Apple and Nike now have the luxury to look and feel a certain way, and they're also very happy to pay 10 times more for a click than they probably need to, which for a small business that is starting out is something that you can't afford. So my advice is, when you're starting out, put your brand bias aside. Don't be overly romantic about how the ads look. Rather ask yourself, do the ads look like something I would want to consume or that I know people want to consume? It might not always fit in with your CI, but that is okay. It is not the end of the world. I promise you, your brand will be okay. And I also want to say that most of the time it's just your own subjective opinion, and you might be over exaggerating the matter as well. So here's a quick story on how we've launched our own e-commerce brand in June last year. We started with 10,000 Rand in sales our first month. We've grown that to over 700,000 Rand in recurring revenue within 8 to 9 months. We've done this with zero brand or CI. Yeah, we have some colors that we adhere to and a font that we use, but that is it, nothing else. I've been responsible for the ads, so has my team, and at the end of the day, we just create ads we think people would like to see, and that is it, and it's working. So we've literally gone from zero to over 700,000 Rand a month in revenue, and we're still growing. And not to mention that we're doing this with 25% net profit. This is just proof that you don't need to be overly strict about how your ads look. Don't have to have a certain CI for the Facebook ads specifically, because if you're going to take that approach, then you're going to have to be happy paying more for every single click, every single lead, or every single sale. What you should be asking yourself is, how can we create ads that don't look like ads, that actually looks like stuff that other people have shared? Because if you can get that right, you're going to be driving sales at a much lower cost, which means you're going to be making a lot more profit from the Meta platform. Now, if you are someone that likes to overthink things, and if you are very pedantic and specific about how the size of the logo should be, how the font type should be, what degree of color you should be using, and I'm not saying that you should go the complete opposite to what you're trying to stand for as a brand, but if there's slight degrees in changes, then it shouldn't be the end of the world. So ultimately, what you should be doing is, how can you be creating ads that don't look like ads, but still somehow fit into the look and feel of the brand that you've created for yourself? But if you're going to push brand, the look and feel over the actual essence of the ad, you will be increasing your own CPCs, your own CPAs. And what you're not realizing is you are creating a lot of additional stress, a lot of additional anxiety, all because you want to micromanage how something should look in an environment where nobody really cares. All they care about is, do I understand what you're saying? Is this worth my time and attention? Does it deserve a click? Yes, let me check it out. Oh wow, this is actually cool, let me get it. Not, oh wow, I really enjoyed seeing this logo and it's just the perfect size. By the way, that doesn't happen. So bottom line, at the end of the day, it's about grabbing attention at the cheapest cost. Can you do that whilst adhering to some of the brand's guidelines best you can? Can you get creative to ensure that your ads don't look like ads? Can you step back, put your own ego aside, your romantic bias aside to how these things should look, realizing that your brand is not going to be damaged if things don't look 100% according to the CI that's been put out by some designer? Can you accept that your business is not going to fall apart by you creating an ad that doesn't look 100% to how your brand should look necessarily? Can you surrender to the algorithm and then essentially focus on resonating with users as opposed to forcing a specific ad down their throats? Because if you're going to force a specific ad to look a specific way, what you're doing is you're telling the users, here's my ad, look at it, and they're going to go, no, I don't want to, swipe past, thank you, next post, no, look at my ad, no thank you, I'm not, look at my ad please. After 3 attempts, maybe they click. Now the price of that click is so much higher than it needs to be, as opposed to you just creating an ad that resonates with them in any way, shape or form. Now what I do want to say that when it comes to creating ads, there is a ton of things that we can discuss, and we will do so in future videos. But for this video, the point that I'm trying to make is that you as a business owner are sometimes your own worst enemy, purely because of the fact that you are overly romantic about how your ads should be looking, and you're completely missing the point of the ad creation process, which is to create something that grabs someone's attention in a way that it doesn't actually look like an ad, that makes them feel comfortable to click through and learn more about the product or the service on the other side. That is the goal, period. If you adapt this perspective and you loosen up a little bit about how the ad should look and specifically in someone's feed, and just focus on getting the messaging right, I can almost guarantee you that you will see a much bigger success when it comes to your meta ads. That's all I wanted to share with you guys today. I really hope there was some value in this video, and if there was, I want to encourage you again to like and subscribe, and I guess I'll see you guys next week. All the best. Cheers.